Well, here's hoping this commentary pans out. If it doesn't, don't worry, I'll be sure to make 7 or so videos trying to damage control the situation so that I can gain your trust back. After all, what's more important than a revitalized ego and flaunting my subscriber count on YouTube? That's all you people care about when it comes to me, right? Also, don't worry, Patreon links will be in the description. I need the money so I can get English professors from Ivy League schools to write my scripts. I care, don't you know? Hey guys, Youngblood Fantasy 91 here, back with another commentary for you wonderful people. I can tell you all this much, while I am not an avid follower of Pokemon despite my appreciation for the series, and while I have not really paid attention to the alleged half-baked video game theories asserted by Pokatuber Cognoscento Proto Mario, I know a garbage attitude and condescension when I come across it. I may not be the most perfect human, tiger, wolf, furry trash out there, but I can tell you that despite my faults and insecurities, at some point I can say without reservation that I was wrong about something and move on from it. When Proto Mario faces backlash for his comments on Twitter, or his attitude online, or even his videos dripping with defensiveness and overreaction to people in YouTube comments, his modus operandi is to claim he knows more than his dissenters, appeal to his reputation and life experiences, and act like he remains apathetic when in actuality, the keen audience members will note this is a well-developed facade. The video I am tackling today empirically demonstrates that there are chinks in Proto Mario's armor, and it goes to show that you don't need an extensive video game background to know when you're dealing with a rather unsavory human being. I'll listen in and I'll see what I have to say about it.
Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Proto Mario.
Wow, Proto, geez, spoiling Undertale for me and showing freaking gameplay, geez, gosh. Also, that was a joke, just in case you were intending to take that comment seriously.
And I wanted to talk about how serious some people take things when they shouldn't take them so seriously. Now, a lot of people would say, Proto, what are you talking about, man? You do Pokemon theories. You take Pokemon way too serious. And that's not really true.
All supposed Pokemon fanaticism aside, you still took the current incidents you are having with your detractors and critics ultra seriously. Deletion of comments and the creation of multiple videos addressing criticism and particular users do not help your case one bit. You're gifted at point deflection, pal.
In fact, I rarely have an opportunity to actually sit down and play through Pokemon. I don't play Pokemon on a daily basis. I don't even compete in tournament-style TCG. I don't play the card game, anything like that. It's just that throughout my life, I've had so much interaction with Pokemon, and I have a pretty good memory when it comes to video games, that I'm able to recall, process, research, and things of that nature. That's why I do the video series I do, because there's always questions to be answered.
Speaking on that point, your memory is fallible and no one really knows the extent of your research. All you are doing here is saying, listen, I may not be the biggest fan of Pokemon, but I still create videos about Pokemon and theories regarding this great expanse of a game series, but you have to trust me on this. Even if I make crap videos, I'm still good, damn it! When I do my Logo Corner videos, I do extensive research, and even though I rely on my memory, I still try to refresh it because who knows what kind of inconsistencies or errors I could make if I didn't cross-check with other sources. Otherwise, I see this as admission of lack of knowledge and a threadbare excuse.
But with this week's video installment, a lot of people ask me, why do you respond to drama? Why do you let drama come up? Why do you do this stuff? Why do you let it affect you? And it's not that it affects me, it's that I need to do the research to broaden my own horizons.
If that research involves making potshots at the people who are criticizing you and referring to your clinical depression as a crutch to justify your swiftly changing mood about internet drama, then yes, you're clearly doing a hunk of research. I think that's another excuse that you created to rationalize your inability to either accept the critique given to you or to ignore potential offending comments. Because, those are options.
So I've talked to several people in the commentary community, and I talked to them about their commentaries and things like that and how they view things, and I have a better understanding that some of them are just straight up douchebags, some of them are absolute garbage, and some of them are just regular everyday people who just make videos because they make them for fun.
That may be the case, Proto, but your previous statements about commentators acting like SJWs, commentators mostly using watermarks for their pictures, their speculated simplistic editing, especially considering all you have on your screen is an Undertale playthrough with a background, which is easily what anyone with minimal editing skills can pull off. They're putting no effort into their content and making a so-called distinction between commentators that give their opinions on you and you giving your opinions on commentators and Pokemon are all the hilarious result of you overreacting to them. That's not research if you're making a bunch of emotionally charged, false, and incendiary statements because you did not receive positive or constructive comments on your videos. Learning experience my ass.
And I try not to generalize, but it's extremely hard when the majority of the people I talk to end up being douchebags. It's pretty shitty.
So you're saying that because your perception of commentators based on how they argue and what points they bring up against you, and perhaps your evaluation of their attitudes as a whole, makes it difficult for you to avoid making a fallacy-ridden argument? That's essentially what you're saying. If you cannot take the heat of people's arguing or comments, then clearly your emotions are coming into play and not theirs. Speak for yourself anyway. Making statements about how Caden is lazy and how commentators are all douchebags isn't presumptuous or pretentious in any way. Explain your way around that.
I mean, it'd be like getting on Xbox, hopping on the mic, and having someone scream in your ear swear words over and over again in a GTA 5 lobby and not expect that. Like, come on, man. You know stuff like that is gonna happen because that's the generalization of Xbox.
And here we see a classic case of the fallacy of induction. Just because something happens frequently based on your observations does not mean it will always happen. And give me a break, Proto. This is the internet, not a group chat on Xbox Live. Both of these groups contain black swans, but YouTube is more varied in terms of its user composition. So I'll also say you're making a false equivalence, and that you admit you make fallacious arguments.
And after my due diligence and research, I have come to find that people will take things to the extreme, no matter what it is. Good lord, do you really think there aren't people out there who wouldn't go nuts over picture frames? Picture frames. Serious. Like, I guarantee you somewhere there's a forum where people are debating wood frame versus plastic versus metal, and they're in a hardcore...
I know you're trying to get us in your frame of mind, but that does not eliminate the fact that you too overreacted about something small. Picture frames aside, you're still getting flustered over words on a screen and people's criticism of you. The picture frame people and you have elements in common in this case.
Anyways, taking something so far and so serious and just running with it non-stop, man. Just refusing, flat out refusing to give up the ghost, to not let it go and things of that nature. It's not healthy. And
two things. Wow, that's supreme editing. Cutting yourself off certainly is a sign that you're so adroit at editing. I bet you learned that from watching multiple videos on YouTube. Such an editing scholar. And second, you made a grand total of 7 videos about criticism and counting, most of them revolving around the commentary community. This is clearly an act of projection on your part, especially considering you have shown minimal signs of letting such disagreements go. More evidence that your veneer is slowly crumbling.
I wanted to bring up this topic because I'm quite sure a lot of individuals out there in my comment section have run into people like this on YouTube, where you have Google Plus now.
Isn't Google Plus slowly being phased out? Do continue either way.
So you never really lose a comment. I mean, you do, but you don't, you know. You can find it again if you do lose it. And you constantly get alerted, and there's people arguing tooth and nail. And they get so far off subject, so far off the original argument, that they will do anything to defame you. I'm quite sure in the future, at some point in time, an individual will try and say, "Well, Proto, you delete dissenting commenters. You delete your comments, and you try to make yourself look good." And, you know, like, are you serious? Did you miss the video I did where I was talking about how I moderate my comment section so that it doesn't become a cesspool of garbage on the internet?
See, the fact that you had to make a video on how you moderate your comments is clear indication that somewhere down the line you were so bothered with opposing viewpoints and whatever else that you took it upon yourself to sieve through your comments and remove offending content. However, based on your previous actions, your definition of offensive includes comments that offer critique or call you out, and clearly that's anathema to you. How is that offensive? And the whole "you can contact me elsewhere" excuse can apply to you because you did not try to contact your detractors either, except when they come to you first. But they can't, because you delete their comments and they feel it's a waste of time talking to someone who believes their comments on YouTube do not matter. Ever consider that perspective, doofus?
Did you miss it? Did you miss that video? But there will be people out there who are going to constantly try to bring me down. There will be people out there who will constantly try to bring you down. It's just that if you are an individual with not such a large channel, they don't have the same avenues to bring you down as they do me.
Yes, you do have plenty of content that people can either attempt to refute or criticize. But you honestly signed up for that when you decided to create your channel and publish your theories. You should not be putting yourself on such an impossible standard to where you are immune from all criticism, even if it's lodged in an offensive comment. If anything, your videos are positing viewpoints that frankly deserve scrutiny because you claim you scrutinize details from Pokemon, although we have to question that due to your rash observations about commentators, to reach your conclusions. If you honestly believe that you do not deserve that, either change the direction of your channel or develop a thicker skin.
Throwing a random video out there to bring someone's feelings down, discourage them, make them unhappy, call them names, things like that. Having tons of people do that over and over and over again is a little bit different than just a comment thread. But make no mistake, eventually you'll probably run into someone in your YouTube travels that will try to bring you down no matter what you say or do, no matter how much you have in common with that person. Which is kind of sad when you think about it, honestly.
Your multiple comments against Caden Marks and commentators seem to eerily fit your description of the pathetic and wayward soul that is constantly striving to bring someone down in order to justify their existence or prove their points correct. Let's be honest, you may not be consistently going after individuals frequently, but the multiple videos, the unfounded responses to commentators, and the need to gain money from your endeavors seem to indicate that you would rather keep your reputation intact than to admit you were wrong somewhere down the line. That's intellectually disingenuous and horrid in all honesty.
Because individuals who argue me tooth and nail over Pokemon, they just don't understand how much we have in common. I mean, I might not play it every day, I might not mess around with it every day, but I have a picture of Xerneas and Yveltal. Oh god, I can't ever say that right. I'm sorry, it's my speech impediment, man. It rears its ugly head sometimes.
Yveltal, you dork! Also, to your credit, I do not really notice your speech impediment. If anything, I thought it was just a part of your accent. There, see? I'm not so prickly when you get down to it. Now, if only you'd see other people in that light, too. MTR doesn't count.
Yveltal, picture of Yveltal, a couple stuffies, some pre-order Pokemon figurines from way back in the day, man, like Giratina, and some more stuffies on my table. My Pikachu 3DS, Bulbasaur is over here on my left. I have them because they're nice products. When growing up, I couldn't have that stuff, and now I do have them. And so, it makes me sad when these individuals fight you so hard, fight you tooth and nail over this, that, or the other, when they don't need to fight you over that stuff, but they won't let it go because they feel like they're right and you're wrong and you need to be proven wrong, and they will do anything to prove you wrong.
Do anything like erase comments, upload multiple videos. I know I'm circling around similar assertions, but this is a case where you're honestly projecting yourself onto these people. You adequately fit this description with your replies on Twitter and your flagrant lack of regard for others that hold differing opinions. The way you comport yourself on YouTube is incontrovertible evidence that really you don't care about what other people think. You only care about what you yourself believe, and that's sad too, really.
Skip it, to run, to jump, to hop, hop.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, some food for thought. I thought I'd throw it out there for you. Feel free to comment down in the section below if you're interested in offering a dissenting opinion. Please feel free to offer it. Well, thanks for watching, and as always, happy gaming.
Offer it, of course, but with the caveat that you will never see a response from it, given that it will be effaced from the comments section. Oh yeah, you'll also be called a coward because you did not try to contact him through email, Skype, or Twitter, despite him going on a tirade about how these people will constantly try to find fault in others. Your messages are more mixed than Chex Snacks. And that's the end of the video, since the rest of the video is a plug to join his Maverick Rebellion. But I want to show you a part of it real quick. Roll it, folks.
We are a tight group of individuals who rebel against stereotypes and greater evils that are commonly accepted. ISPs, children being conned out of games, sexism in video games.
Wow, also an SJW, geez, way to be a commentator like us, join us, we got cookies, ooh, yo face slide 69. And for real, that's the way it is. I've learned this the hard way, and I still need to be reminded of this fact, but here it is. Whenever you decide to make numerous videos that contain your opinions or your beliefs about certain topics, games, ideologies, and so forth, you are bound to receive a reaction from your audience. It's a simple but powerful statement, mainly because you entered into this particular social contract when you decided from day one to create content. Sometimes I see comments that disappoint or fluster me. However, overreacting to the comments and creating multiple videos on these comments, classifying them as bullying, appealing to alleged depression to elicit sympathetic responses, deleting comments to create personal echo chambers, and getting bitter, sarcastic, glib, and insulting towards others that critique to the point where making personal and left-field comments is the only way to respond to such critics is without a doubt the most inappropriate method of response. Proto, deluding yourself into believing that such retaliation is going to work is not going to solve anything. If anything, you should not even consider them problems because that is the natural order of things online. If you want an open forum, you better accept the consequences of an open forum or else exit. I await you calling this video an act of cowardice because I did not contact you on other venues first despite such an action not being contingent on the existence of this video since, you made your opinions public anyway. Why even bother going that extra step? Hopefully you won't call me a social justice warrior. Anyway, this is Youngblood Fantasy 91, and ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all in the brighter later. Have a good night, folks.